Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct privilege to introduce to you our next speaker, Mr. Danios Pouras, who is the esteemed former UN Special Rapporteur on the right to health. Mr. Pouras's unwavering dedication to advancing global health rights and advocating for equitable healthcare has set a remarkable standard in the field. Please do join me in extending a very warm welcome to Mr. Pouras.
Dear Iranian friends and friends of free democratic Iran, I am joining this summit and contributing to diversity of expert views with my expertise and experience in the field of health and human rights as a medical doctor, human rights advocate, and former UN Special Rapporteur on the right to physical and mental health. Human rights, as we know, and as we need to remind to others, especially to the people in power, are indivisible and interdependent. The best what has been achieved by global community was a global post-World War II agreement on universal human rights principles. All human rights are equally important. There should be no hierarchies within human rights. Right to health is, as we know, economic social right. However, equally important for health is to protect civil and political rights, freedoms. Regimes, totalitarian regimes, they tend to ignore this. And the physical and mental health of everyone may seriously suffer when civil and political rights of people are violated. Sadly, this happens now for many years in Iran. Global community needs to do more to address this tragedy of Iranians. And first of all, this is about holding Iranian authorities accountable for atrocities, including the 1988 massacre. When democracy and space for civil society are suppressed, this is detrimental for health and well-being of everyone. Women's rights, children's rights, rights of many groups in vulnerable situations are brutally violated. But especially brutal is the regime to those courageous people who stand out and seek justice. When I was UN Special Rapporteur, I have raised the case of political prisoner Ms. Mariam Akbari Monfared in special procedures joint letter with the then Special Rapporteur on Iran, addressed to the Iranian authorities back in November 2016. Mariam is a young mother of 3 daughters who is currently serving the final year of her 15-year sentence. She is being kept in prison simply because she previously filed an official complaint with the Iranian judiciary to explain why her older brother and sister were executed during the 1988 massacre. The prison authorities have told her that she will not be released at the end of her sentence unless she formally renounces her call for justice. Last summer, she was put before new bogus trials and sentenced to additional 3 years in prison. So in October, when her original sentence expires, she will not be released. During this time, she has serious medical complications, but she has been denied access to outside hospital as a means to force her to cooperate. And many, many other such stories we know and we heard today and the 2 days before. There is increasing evidence about horrible effects of the systematic oppression, such as staggering increase in executions, noting the highest number in 8 years, recording in 2023 with more than 850 executions, including women, juvenile offenders, even a child. 1,877 people were executed during Ebrahim Rais's shortened tenure alone. We know about ongoing suppression of the 2022 uprising. 750 protesters, including dozens of women and children, were shot and killed by the security forces. Ladies and gentlemen, human rights abuses, when they are committed with impunity and when there is no accountability, they do proliferate and may have very different faces. I would like to add one more example. This is from my profession of human rights violation in Iran. I will mention now one such issue, which is abuse of psychiatry. Regrettably, abuse of psychiatry is increasingly happening in Iran. For example, civil disobedience, when young people protest in the streets, is labeled as antisocial personality disorder. Abuse of psychiatry for political and religious reasons could have a long-lasting negative consequences. Of course, first of all, for health of affected people, but also for psychiatry as a profession, as well as damaging society's trust in a medical specialty that is expected to be based on evidence and science. So we see one more example, and again, international community could do more. In this case, this is about World Psychiatric Association, which is sadly silent so far about this. So it's very sad that these violations of human rights are done in the name of medicine and psychiatry, and doctors are forced. This is a phenomenon of so-called dual loyalty, when doctors are forced or agree to do harm to their patients. These and many other violations of human rights in Iran, many of them amounting to torture and killings of innocent people, must stop. And for these mechanisms to ensure accountability must be in place. I fully, therefore, support conclusions and recommendations of the recent landmark report of the Special Rapporteur on Iran, Professor Javed Rahman. I'm very proud of my colleague. I was working with him. I was living as a Special Rapporteur. He was coming, and we were both in coordination committee. And I'm proud that special procedures are doing what they should do. It is high time that the UN member states urgently establish an inquiry into 1988 mass executions and enforced disappearance in Iran. The Human Rights Council should also support the pursuit of accountability for Iranian officials who have committed major crimes that violate international law, such as 1988 massacre and the brutal crackdowns on previous and current protests. Additionally, it should recognize the legitimate right of the Iranian people to demand change and defend themselves against the brutal actions of the security forces. In conclusion, I would like to express my solidarity to the families in Iran who seek accountability and justice. And you need to know that for millions of people, your struggle and courage is a source of inspiration for millions of people in the world. Thank you very much.